When that inevitable third fighter pass arrives, will we get some Echo Fighters finally? Let's find out. Block content. What's happening, my Block buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. We get to talk all about Echo Fighters, and I know you guys have been asking me to do this episode for a very long time, and yes, I'm absolutely in love with the idea of getting more Echo Fighters. I mean, it might be a little bit controversial because a lot of people really want these unique fighters, and that makes sense, and I don't definitely think that we should be getting an Echo Fighters pass that has to be the same monetary value as the things that we paid off so far. Maybe if it was like 10 or 20 Echo Fighters, I could pay the same price, but I just want something simple and something that drops like 3 Echo Fighters or 4 Echo Fighters or maybe a little bit more than that, and just have fun with it, and it being characters that, really model after some of the characters. There's a lot of choices in here, so I can't wait to dive into it together with you guys, and I've been diving into many of you guys' questions about Smash Ultimate and new fighters in our show Question Blocked, where I answer your questions. What do I think of your favorite game? How do you start making videos on YouTube? Well, whatever you can think of, send your questions through to blockedcontentmail@gmail.com, and I will answer your question live on the show in our next Question Blocked episode. And here's a brand new giveaway. You can win the Super Mario surprise capsule from Tomy. Any Mario item, Yoshi, or character could be inside. I leave them closed so you can find out what's inside when you win. Giving away 4 of these, so remember to like this video, subscribe to Blocked Content right now, it really helps out the channel, and comment down below to enter for that giveaway. Alright guys, let's get into the main topic of today, and that's Echo Fighters. I want to dive in really quick with the characters that I want so badly. And number 1 on my list is actually Shadow the Hedgehog. Yes, there's going to be an episode also that talks a little bit more about this character, but generally, Shadow the Hedgehog to me is the epitome of what an Echo Fighter should be. Of course, the character is already in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as an assist trophy, and I don't think it does the character any justice. I think that Chaos Control is interesting, but definitely not all that the character entails. I think that there's so much to do with Shadow in terms of a game mode, in gameplay style, that could really fit with a character that won't just be Sonic. So slight animations that will differ from what Sonic is, right? I mean, the idle animation, something like running would be the ice skating thing, or the rollerblading thing, and just some other tiny things. It would be really cool if Shadow had a projectile attack, like Chaos Spear or something like that. But yeah, of course, it is an Echo Fighter if this is going to be happening, so I would definitely want them to just stick close to Sonic, but make him slightly slower maybe, and a bit heavier. I mean, that sounds like a really cool, unique fighter. Just a character that's modeled after the fastest thing in the universe, but just with a bit more power. And of course, we'll talk all about Knuckles in our Sonic special episode about Smash Bros., so watch out for that, and subscribe to the channel if you want to find out more. Now, another Echo Fighter that not too many people have been thinking about is an Echo Fighter for Little Mac. I think Little Mac as a character is so cool because he's very original. There's not any character quite like Little Mac in Smash Bros. Ultimate, and if you think about a even heavier but slower version of that might even have slightly better jumping capabilities as well, you might get very excited. I think Doc Lewis, yes, the person who trained Little Mac and is actually in Super Smash Bros. As, these little taunt messages and stuff like that, and of course was in the trailer for Little Mac way back when with the Wii U and 3DS game, I think would make for a very cool character. There's a lot to the character that I really love in terms of humor and just the physical appearance of the character, the tracksuit and everything. And to have Little Mac's, franchise be represented by another character, and for general representation in Smash Bros., another black character in Smash couldn't hurt as well for representation. I absolutely love the idea of having a heavier Little Mac with punches that might land a little bit harder, which, would just kill characters in one hit. So that would be very interesting. And there's also a lot to be said about characters in the Mario universe, right? I mean, yes, we already have so many characters. Do we really want Waluigi to be an Echo Fighter? He has so many original things going for him. Well, there's probably other stuff that you can think of. Maybe an Echo Fighter for Yoshi could be Birdo, and maybe slight changes to that because Birdo doesn't have the tongue abilities that Yoshi have. But yeah, see if it like the eggs attacks that Birdo can do in the Super Mario Bros. 2 game. That would be really cool. And there's people that have been very, vocal and excited about the fact that maybe Bowser could get an Echo Fighter in terms of Dry Bowser. Yes, this could also be a costume, but having it be an Echo Fighter, it could even make Bowser as Dry Bowser a little bit more scary too. And of course the Blue Fire, which everyone is super excited about. Now, if you think about Donkey Kong as a fighter, maybe we could even have Funky Kong in there. You know, a little bit faster than Donkey Kong, some slightly different animations to make the character a little bit more funky, a little bit more server dude-like. I think that would fit very well, and that would actually be a super awesome thing. So there are other slight variations on characters that could be really great costumes or Echo Fighters, and I'll let you guys decide for yourself. But it's characters like Wart for King K. Rool, you know, think about, you know, the little crown on his head that could fit very well there. There's Miss Pac-Man for Pac-Man. I think there's cool ideas like that, like Dr. Mario, like having a Luigi alt, like Dr. Luigi, that would fit very well. And Diddy Kong having a slight variation that is, of course, Dixie Kong. There's a lot to be said about these different characters being in Smash and all having different costumes. But I definitely think that if you want to do more Echo Fighters, it's these types that you do, right? The characters that, yeah, they stand on their own, they have their own games, and they, you know, thrive, but they could very well fit as a costume for a character or an Echo Fighter. And, you know, there's Ness and there's Ninten, there's characters like the Blood Falcon for Captain Falcon. Those are the types of characters where it's really a gray area in between. Do you want a costume for them? Because that would fit. You know, with the voice would be kind of similar as well, or is it definitely a different character? You know, for Solid Snake, seeing a character like Big Boss appear, that has pretty much the same David Hayter voice, you know, if it's not the Big Boss from Metal Gear Solid 5, right? So I could see stuff like that happening where it's just a costume, and an Echo Fighter would be a little bit something like if Mega Man had an Echo Fighter for Proto Man, right? Because that is definitely a very different character. It's not like a clone or anything like that. And the same counts for my thoughts on Shadow, right? Definitely needs a different voice, definitely needs some different animations. So one of the things I'm super excited about is hearing you guys' thoughts on Echo Fighters. Are there any that you really desperately want to see in a upcoming Fighters Pass? If we have an Echo Fighter Pass, what would you want to have in it? So I'm very excited about that, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below. So I'd love to hear what you guys' thoughts are on Echo Fighters. If you comment down below, that could actually be featured and read out loud in our next video. And today's comment question is, what Echo Fighter do you want in Smash Bros. Ultimate? As for our previous comment question winner, our answer comes to us from our user, Rice Bell French, which is a great name, saying, my 6 who I want to join Smash Bros. Ultimate are Shadow the Hedgehog, there we go, right? Shantae, Spyro, Sora, Tifa Lockhart, and Chun-Li. And what I think is great about your picks, Rice, is that there's a lot of female representation here. There's a lot of really great and powerful characters, and I love Spyro and Sora as well. I think Shadow is a great pick because we talked about it in this video where it's like the character deserves his own shot in Smash Brothers, right? Doesn't just deserve to be a character in the background of a loop-to-loop, or like a character that is just an assist trophy. There's a lot to be said about different Sonic characters, but Shadow is also very much on the top of my list in terms of characters and also these costumes or whatever you want to call them, Echo Fighters, that could all work too. Tifa Lockhart as a character is interesting because of course we are having the remake of Final Fantasy VII, which looks incredible, and I actually really love Tifa's design, as do a lot of other people. You know, it's been a little bit controversial. Some people might think that it needs some changes. To me, it's really great, and I would love to see the character in Smash Bros. Chun-Li, of course, is a huge gaming icon, and everyone would kind of recognize her at being, yeah, that's the character from Street Fighter that has the great kick moves. So yeah, I would love those characters too. So thank you so much for sending in your comment, and everybody, these are so much fun to do. And of course, a huge shout out to our latest Patreon supporters and the super chats during our live streams. You guys make this channel absolutely possible. So if you want to have yourself created as a block content character, join me for discussions, or even have your own ideas become animations, go to patreon.com/blockedcontent. There's a bunch of incredible rewards there, and they're waiting just for you. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Blocked Content family yet, hit subscribe now, smash that like button, and ring the bell for notifications, and all the news and fun that you care about will be delivered on the daily to you. So thank you guys so much for watching today, and I'll see you around the corner, where there's always more Blocked Content. See ya!